How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its 30th anniversary sale right now, and there are a ton of deals available, and I thought I would do something a little bit different. There's a lot of deals under the price of $2. As you guys might know, I am one man, so I cannot play everything under the sun, but I wanted to highlight some of the deals that I found rather interesting or good. Some of these games I have played, some of them I haven't. I just looked through and tried to eliminate all the games that were straight up shovelware. And these might be games that if you're looking for titles on the super cheap ones to check out. There's a lot of games to go over. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on all of them because, again, I haven't played a lot of them, but there are quite a few that I have played, and I thought those would be worthwhile giving a mention to as well, because surprisingly, the under $2 tier actually has quite a lot of pretty decent stuff. So let's get right into it, and let's start things off with Killing Floor 2, which is 95% off for $1.49. If you want a quality co-op action shooter, I mean, this is a damn good deal. If you got a couple of friends that you can convince to pick it up as well, you can have a great time with this together. Just over-the-top action mayhem zombie slaying. Y'all know what to expect out of a game like this. It's gonna be a really good time. So if you want to pick it up for $1.49, that is quite a good deal. So definitely would give that a shout at that price point. That is a really solid pickup. Nexomon is 90% off for just 99 cents. Yes, $1 for Nexomon, and if you're unfamiliar with Nexomon, very much a Pokemon-style game. Catch, evolve, and collect over 300 unique Nexomon, and it has become a bit of a franchise. After this, they released Nexomon Extinction, and there's a third Nexomon game in development. That third game actually looks quite good, so hopefully that turns out well. Again, bit of a throwback here from a visual standpoint. Nothing that's gonna blow you away in that regard, but for 99 cents, thought that was a pretty solid shout as well, so check that out. Salt Sanctuary, $1.79, 90% off. This game's got an awesome atmosphere, an awesome aesthetic to it. Fairly challenging as well, so keep that in mind, but overall, a fairly good time. And for $1.79, a good pickup there as well. I'll give a shout to Battlefield 4, which is 90% off for $1.99. Look, you're probably not going to get into Battlefield 4 to, find an expansive amount of people playing it online, but Battlefield 4 is a classic experience, and to a lot of people, it was the last, I would say, really good Battlefield game. I know some people like Battlefield Hardline, which that's on sale as well for $1.99. Battlefield 1 wasn't bad as well, but to me, Battlefield 4 was the last Battlefield that I really sunk my teeth into, so yeah, like, I've played every subsequent Battlefield game, but in terms of really getting into it, BF4 was the last one for me. But for $1.99, I think that's a pretty good buy, even if you're just picking it up for the campaign. This War of Mine, the Little Ones, 90% off for $1.99. This is a game that I constantly go back to, constantly rave about, and that's because it is such a compelling and gripping game done by 11-Bit Studios. It's a war story, however, it's a war-based game, unlike a lot of others, where you are more so in the role of somebody that is looking to survive, and it's more of a grim, realistic view of war and the horrors of war, and I thought they just executed it really well from being an emotionally gripping game. For $1.99, I think that's a great pickup. Definitely give that a look, and I think that is a solid shout as well. Next up, we have Agents of Mayhem. Agents of Mayhem is a game that I go back to every now and again, and I recommend it to people in terms of if you can find it super cheap. Look, it's a game done by Volition, and if you want an over-the-top, nonsensical open-world game, Agents of Mayhem is going to offer you exactly that. It's not going to give you some narrative to get incredibly compelled by. It's not going to give you gameplay concepts that are incredibly in-depth or anything like that, but if you want a zany, wacky open world game that you can kind of mentally check out from, if you want like a chaotic open world game to play while listening to a podcast or something like that, Agents of Mayhem is not a bad time, and for $1.99, I think it's a pretty good deal. This is the perfect price point to pay. Anybody that paid $50 for it got absolutely fleeced, but for $1.99, not a bad pickup, all things considered. Next up, I want to give a shout out to all of the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing games. You have Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 1, the extended edition. Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 2, that's $1.49, and Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 3, $1.49 for that as well. Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing 1 is actually the most expensive at $1.99, but these games are very much dungeon crawling action RPGs that aren't gonna be reinventing the wheel or anything like that, but they are fairly well done games in the sense of If you're into isometric action RPGs, Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing is gonna give you a good time. These games are not blow away by any stretch of the imagination. You really have to go into these games with your expectations in line, but hack and slash action RPG fun for this kind of price. I actually do think this is a pretty decent pickup. Van Helsing 3 was the game that I think turned a lot of people away from Van Helsing. I think Van Helsing 1 and 2 were fairly well received. Van Helsing 3, unfortunately, was the one that I feel like most people didn't think as highly of, but $1.49 for 2 and 3 and $1.99 for 1. Not bad deals as far as that's concerned. Next up, we have Oniken Unstoppable Edition. When a global war nearly decimated humankind, an evil military organization called Oniken takes advantage of the situation to dominate and oppress the few remaining survivors. Even though any resistance to this organization seemed hopeless, a small rebel movement organizes a strike against them. Very much a throwback SNES era retro action platformer, but this is on sale for $1.49, so might be something you end up enjoying. Next up, here's a game that really caught my eye, and that is Golf Club Nostalgia. The game is on sale 80% off for $1.99. Has an awesome visual style, and a game with a pretty interesting thematic to it as well. Urban wasteland adventure golf. The rich fled to Mars but venture back to desolate Earth for a round of golf. Each hole in the wasteland offers its own little story and possible puzzle to sink the perfect shot. Play through destroyed brutalist monuments, crumbling shopping malls, and abandoned museums as neon signs and poignant graffiti take swings at current events, Silicon Valley culture, and humanity. 3 stories make a whole. The 1% killed the radio star and fits like a glove as well. Golf Club Nostalgia is on sale, 80% off for just $1.99. Next up, we have Aerial Knights Never Yield, 90% off for just $1.19. This is another game that has an awesome visual style and aesthetic to it. It's a 3D side-scroll that plays much like classic Endless Runners. The game has an interesting story that keeps players always in motion, run, jump, slide, or dash for acrobatic variants, leading to dope combinations and avoid challenges that await. Aerial Knights Never Yield is being built for players who love to speedrun games while being an experience that casual players will enjoy as well. For $1.19, another game to check out there. Next up, we have Dead Age. Survive the apocalypse with a Final Fantasy turn-based combat and permanent death. Manage survivors, craft materials, and make difficult decisions. Defend your camp against hordes of the undead to prevail in this non-linear roguelite, innovative indie survival RPG. Very positive reception on Steam, 4,200 reviews, and 83% of those reviews are positive, and for the price of $1.49, another game to check out there on the cheap. Next up, we have Lichdom Battlemage. Now, Lichdom Battlemage is a game that is not blow away. It's incredibly repetitive. However, I think if you just want to craft insane spells, that's what Lichdom Battlemage really offers. Just over-the-top spell-casting mayhem. Lichdom Battlemage does that really well. And for 99 cents, I mean, that's not a bad pickup. It's a first-person spell-casting game with all the fast-paced action of a first-person shooter, plus the creative power and strategic elements of a spellcaster. Using magic as your only form of weaponry, you wield an almost unlimited arsenal of spells that you craft using 8 main sigils of fire, ice, lightning, corruption, and more. With this immense gift given to you by a wizard named Roth, you will go against wicked forces and insane monsters on a mission to obliterate the evil overlord who destroyed your family. Again, only 99 cents for that. Very much on the cheap, so you can check that out as well. Next up, we have Anima Gate of Memories, and then there is also Anima Gate of Memories, the Nameless Chronicles. Now, these are very much lower budget style action RPGs, almost Devil May Cry-esque. Third-person action RPG that tells the story of 2 beings bound by an unwilling pact, a legendary monster, and a girl who lost her past. Forced to stay together, their existences will take an unexpected turn. They discover that both have been involved in something sinister as well, as far as Gate of Memories go, and then you have the Nameless Chronicles as well, the second video game set in the world of Gaia from the Anima Beyond Fantasy RPG tabletop books. You'll enjoy a deep, multifaceted story where your choices directly impact the journey and decide your fate. $1.99 for the Nameless Chronicles and $1.99 for Gate of Memories as well. Next up, we have Redeemer Enhanced Edition. That is 90% off for $1.49. A brawler title. Redeemer is an intense brawler where you will punch, hack, and blast your way through enemies using fists, hammers, firearms, and even the environment. Very positive reception on Steam if you're looking for an action brawler beat 'em up. Check it out. 86% positive reviews on Steam, as I mentioned, and a bit of a bloody brawler to say the least, so $1.49 on that. Next up, we have Fury Unleashed, which is 90% 90% off for $1.99. Shoot your way through the pages of an ever-changing comic book in this fast-paced roguelike. Play solo and local or online co-op, expand your weaponry, and upgrade your hero with each run. All that to find out why has your creator lost his faith in you and prove him wrong. Looks to be a fast-paced action roguelite title, and for $1.99, another title to check out there. Next up, we do have Bridge Constructor Portal, which is 90% off for $1.49. Enter the Aperture Science Enrichment Center and experience Bridge Constructor Portal, the unique merging the classic Portal and Bridge Constructor games as well. As a new employee in the Aperture Science Test Lab, it's your job to build bridges, ramps, slides, and other constructions in 60 test chambers and get the bendies safely across the finish line in their vehicles. $1.49 for Bridge Constructor Portal, so you can check that out as well. Next up, we have SpeedRunners, 80% off for $1.99, a game that was fairly well received. Cutthroat multiplayer running game that pits 4 players against each other locally and or online. Run, jump, swing around, and use devious weapons and pickups to knock opponents off screen. One of the most competitive games you'll ever play. 22,000 reviews on Steam, and 94% of those reviews are positive, so quite the positive reception for that, and now it is on sale for just $1.99. Next up, we have Gigapocalypse, which is another really well-received game. 129 reviews on Steam. 96% of those reviews are positive. Become a customizable giant monster with manifold skills in Gigapocalypse, inspired by classical kaiju movies such as Godzilla, King Kong, and the game classic Rampage as well. Very much a throwback visual style as well. Gigapocalypse is on sale for $1.99 on the PlayStation Store. Next up, we have Planet Alpha, which is 80% off for $1.99. A beautiful alien world filled with mystery and danger. Pursued by relentless enemies, you must harness the power of night and day as you struggle to survive. Mostly positive reception on Steam for this one, a 72 on Metacritic as well. An atmospheric adventure game here for just $1.99. And lastly, we do have the Technomancer, which is 80% off for $1.99. A game that I've talked a little bit about on this channel. Look, it is not a blowaway RPG, and if you're expecting that from a Spiders RPG, you're usually going to be pretty disappointed, although their games have been getting incrementally better and better. But Technomancer was one of their earlier titles. Very much janky, but a pretty cool sci-fi setting to it as well. For $1.99, I actually don't think it's a bad pickup. If you want something that has a cool setting, but is a little bit janky, I think $1.99 is the perfect price to pay. But that is going to do it for me again. Trying to cover some games that are a little bit lower key, at least giving them a mention on this channel, as I know a lot of you guys have been requesting for that. It's just, I am one man trying to play all the games that have come out, and on top of that, going back and playing every indie title would be a little bit difficult, but I thought I would at least give some of these games a mention. If they look interesting to you, you can check them out. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.